What map is this? Kind of looks sick. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this was the original sewer map. So this was Levity. Oh, this was a map about a boat that crashes on an iceberg. Fun to show this off, man. Your daughter's drawings are so cute. Hey, knock it off. Doc designing a Halo map would be awesome. Man, I would love to design a Halo map would be... I'd love to design a Halo map. Shit, I'd love to design a Valorant map, man. Those maps are just as, like... I mean, no offense to the people at Riot, okay? And the designers that designed the 3 that I've seen. There's one that I like. Your little zipline ones. Lots of verticality. That one's cool. That one's cool. The little flank path in the back, though, I feel like is a little dull. Both sides, I think, are a little dull. Flank paths. But it keeps the action centered, which is good. But the other two, man, and with the ones with the portals, if anything, the portal's kind of cool because it kind of changes that. But, like, all the choke points and the layouts, very, Jubs, thank you for the 3. Their maps are just too safe. That's a good way to put it. I think they are safe. They're not going to play bad, but they're just like, I've seen this before, In fact, I've seen this for years and 15 plus years now. It is designed for competition. It's designed for the people that play Counter-Strike. Let's not beat around the bush, right? It's designed for the hardcore first-person shooter aimer guy, and it's going to have competitive leagues. It's going to have competitive teams signed, competitive players. There's going to be a lot of money on the line. It's going to be has a global reach. It's going to be run by Riot Games, and that's that game, and that's what it's going to be. It's inevitable. You have to respect that Riot. That's the vision, and they're executing it already incredibly well. If you're into that, I think map design is such an underrated thing. Like, you would think, because they launch DLCs like, hey, brand new maps coming out and all this stuff and all. Obviously, DLC isn't launched with the game. So, like, most of the time, no one really cares about the new DLC map because it's not a part of the initial launch when things were hot, when the most people were playing and all the focus is there and all the energy. And so I think it's just so important that a game, when it launches, a shooter game, that their core map selection is fucking dialed in and unique and just awesome. It's night and day. And I think Halo 2... all of their multiplayer maps, holy shit. You talk about every single one. Even the ones that probably aren't everyone's favorite or not the top ones. Even those ones were really unique and special and had a lot of character and personality in them. How long does it take to fully make a map? It depends on the program. It depends on the design process and the game that you're designing for. There's so many different factors. If we're talking Call of Duty, I would be able to design a map on paper. Like, no joke. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not trying to brag or anything, right? Like, I've good looking. If you're finely tuned with the tools, if you're really experienced with the tools and you're in your groove, paper map a day, like half a day to a day, because you got to package it and present it. So you got to do your hand drawing, top-down drawing into Photoshop, and then do like a verticality pass, a lanes pass, spawn pass. And then once it gets approved, then you can go ahead and go into the 3D program and start boxing it out, right? And then after the block out phase, you got to obviously, once you're good with your design, you got to set up your spawns for a play test. Probably just like a couple days. I mean, not very long, man. Depending on how much detail you want to take in and how confident you are with your design. What about the Liberty Island one? That's the one I wanted to show. Quarantine. Advanced Quarantine? There it is. This was the last map that I designed for Call of Duty right here. This one. This was DLC 4 for Advanced Warfare. And I wanted to do something that was very, very traditional for Call of Duty, but fit the mechanics that I've become familiar with in the development of Call of Duty and Advanced Warfare over time. Unfortunately, like DLC 4, no one's really playing DLC 4 at this time. There are, like, the focus is already transitioning to the next Call of Duty for Call of Duty players, and then so not a lot of people played this probably or got exposed to this.
Quarantine is an interesting map that actually has a lot of.
Why did you use interesting?
Following a deadly viral outbreak, the island has been converted into a biological testing center.
I made this up. This is my explanation, because they always want an explanation. I felt bad for the locked up monkey, says Johnny Nada.
I'm pretty sure that this is one of my favorite maps.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. But hey, shout out Prestige.
Ha!
You see all these? See how they're going crazy? Like, oh, you don't see them. The monkeys go crazy when you... So the programming was when you shot a bullet inside of there, all these monkeys start like doing backflips and shit. But then you have to like offset the timing of each one so they're not all doing the exact same animation at the same time. And that, like, you talk about like some, you know, like some C++ programming. Woo! Layer Cake, thank you for the $3. I love how you get lost in talking about your COD maps, Doc. You must be really proud of it. You should be. I'm not. I mean, it was just. It's not necessarily a pride thing. It's more of just like it was a creative outlet, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of. That's all. Talk about the process in which a map comes together, man. This is an early Solar. I have all these, man. Sledgehammer's like, what the fuck? Like, this is this is memories right here. This is like some cool shit. Solar was one of the first maps I designed ever. But this is like a printout of a camera above. You know, and then you got some notes. So you go to the design meeting, you get some notes. So you basically take this thing to the design meeting. Your producer prints it out, and you take notes on feedback based off the playtest that you just had. Oh man, yeah. Dang, I got so much stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, original instinct. No, this layout was so awesome, man. I think it was our highest rated map internally before Boost Jump came on. I'm not saying that as like bragging. I mean, it probably sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not bragging. I'm just saying like it played really well. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. We were having a really good time with it, and it was such a bummer that I had to scrap the design. And that's just how it goes. I was such a passionate, extremely passionate person when it came to that stuff. Like, just, it blew my mind. Just like, what? We spent all that time and everything, and we just got to scrap it? I think there's a lot of talent in the industry. It's being able to recognize that talent and put them in the right places to succeed and with no barriers, you know? Enough of the generic corporate ladder system. Like, put the top creatives that got the wild minds and put them in creative lead roles and shit and drive their vision home, man. Right? We need to break up this monotony of generic stuff we're seeing everywhere. Right? Get the crazy lunatic guy who's always sending emails across the studio saying, "Hey, look, I had this idea for this," and he's a programmer or something, but he's shooting emails to the design team with crazy ass designs that are like kind of sound like a lot of. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people in the industry that are like, they think they're designers, or they think they have wild ideas, and like you read their pitches and stuff, it's like, but there's a lot of people at the same time that have some fucking awesome ideas that you'd read, especially during game jams and stuff like that, that you're like, man, I wish I had like a little small team to execute your idea. You know, just give me one engineer, give me one artist, give me one guy who could program and design a little bit, and let's just execute that idea real quick. Probably that's how Radical Heights started, you know what I mean? They saw H1Z1, the speed of H1Z1, the whole battle royale attractiveness, and then they tried to do something that was sort of like unique. And you know what? I think the timing was just off. Hey, Cliffy! The timing was just off. Didn't even get close to a finished product with Radical Heights, but man, it had something there that felt very unique. It had a personality. That's what it is, man. The game had a personality. Did you ever make maps that didn't make it into the game? Umin, hold that thought right there. I'll be right back, okay? Hold that thought. Let me see if I can find something. So this map right here was a map that didn't make it in. It's basically a huge, massive, like, sewer system. This is about 1,000 feet down a huge, massive ice crevice. It's like this drilling platform that has been established down in this ice crevice. So like this would be like the wall, vertical wall, and you're at the surface way up here, right? And you're looking way down into the hole. Advanced Warfare Recovery. The original design, very simple. Horizon, if you guys know what the map Horizon from Advanced Warfare, this was the original not finished design. I think I got it to this point, and then I decided to put it in Photoshop and then build the rest out in Photoshop. Oh, here's a more finished design, actually. So that was Horizon. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. This map was fucking sick, dude. It played so well. And then guess what? Boost Jump came on. And we had to scrap it, man. Like, we had so many awesome maps before Jump came on. Anyways, it was my first symmetrical map. We were playtesting it. I mean, it was so fun. It was a take on where, like, this side was the same as this side. And so one team would fight around here, and one team would start right here, okay? And then obviously if you switch rounds, then you experience what this team experienced afterward. But rather than it be, you know how like there's like symmetrical where like you spawn in and the geo that you're fighting through is going to be the exact same of what they're like, it's going to be mirrored of what they're doing. That's a different type of symmetry in comparison to this type of symmetry where half the map was the exact same as the other half as you're fighting down the middle or fighting through it. It's, if that makes sense. That was a lot of fun, man. So the fiction of this, you're probably thinking like, what the hell is it? So the fiction was, it was like a reactor, very generic fiction. It was like the inside of like this futuristic fusion reactor plant. A lot of this stuff I don't even know. In the process of thinking of this and flow and everything, and then you're able to just transfer that into 3D. Like, I think it's very important that you're keeping the flow of your creativity going right into the 3D program, and so that like this vision that you have continues to stay fresh, because ultimately if you like had this cool idea, you don't want to stand still and like, all right, oh, here's quarantine. So the map that I just showed you with the monkeys and everything, here's the original design for it. Obviously it changed a little bit. Some of the block areas I changed, but this was like the very first pitch. Oh, this is a weird one. I think I drew this during a design meeting or whatever. I don't know. But it's like a heavy traffic area, corner, you know, sort of like a pavilion, almost like the one that you see in Modern Warfare, but not like that. I was pounding out maps, man. I was just pounding. I had so many fucking ideas, dude. Like my ideas never stopped. I was designing a map or two a week, and whether I was asked to or not, I just kept on piling them up. Crazy ideas and shit. It's just there's a process you have to. Yeah, there's like an approval process that you have to go through. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh, a lot of you guys are gonna be jealous. A lot of you guys are gonna be jealous. I spotted this true story. Mrs. Sasson and I, a couple friends, San Francisco Pier, went in the shop. I noticed the shop, man, this guy had everything in it. Signed, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I had to snag it, man. I forgot that I had this. That was a long time ago. That was years and years ago. Woo! Fucking priceless, baby. Come on now. Come on, Jean-Claude. I can tell your passion for this unmatched or truly incredible. Don't ever stop being you, Doc. I think everyone has... I appreciate that, by the way. Chicken to Coop with a $10 donation. I think everyone has their passion, man. Everyone has their passion. Just, I mean, do it. If you got a passion, do it, baby. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No, seriously, do it. Don't fuck around. Do it. It's just so rewarding. It's good for, it's so rehabilitating. It's good for the psyche. It's good for the soul. Why not?